Hi everybody. I'm going to read an article to you guys. If you want to sit back and get your favorite cup of coffee or tea or whatever else you're drinking. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. It is, let's see, it is March 24, 2023 at 2:22 p.m. And this was referred to me by Deb. Thank you so much. And this is the Evening Standard. It's the tech section of the paper. This is back in December 1st of last year. It is Robocop becomes reality as San Francisco police approve killer robots. Imagine, folks, walking down the street and police officer brings his tin can, his little tin man, and says, hey, go attack that person. Talk about plausible deniability. I mean, who are you going to blame? The robot or the cop that gave him the orders? So let's continue, folks. So, San Francisco's ruling board of supervisors has voted to let the city police use robots that can kill. The SFPD, which is the San Francisco Police Department, maintained that its troop of around a dozen droids armed with explosives will only be used as lethal options where there is a life-threatening risk to civilians and officers and no alternatives are feasible. Guys, if you believe that, don't believe that. Go online and watch all the crazy cop videos. You know, they've got very poor impulse control. They're shooting people that are unarmed, elderly people, children even. They're arresting children. They're out of control. So I doubt very much that these robots are only going to be used as a last resort. Just like the tasers. Dr. Catherine Connolly from the group Stop Killer Robots said the move was a slippery slope that could distance humans from killing. Absolutely. The city's police, the SFPD, told the BBC they do not currently operate any robots equipped with lethal force. Oh, come on, folks. if you've got like a 250-pound cop compared to a 250-pound robot tin can, who do you think is going to do more damage to you, the robot or the cop? So anyway, a spokesperson for the police said robots could potentially be equipped with explosives, charges to breach fortified structures containing violent, armed, or dangerous subjects. Oh my goodness, folks. I bet they could use these against all those innocent people on the covert terrorist watch list. You know, those non-investigative subjects, or how about the ones that are on the silent hit list? Oh yes, they would only be used against armed or dangerous subjects. They also said robots could be used to, quote-unquote, incapacitate or disorient violent, armed, or dangerous suspects who pose a risk of loss of life. In the proposal, it stated it is particularly important that officers apply proportionality and critical decision-making when encountering a subject who is armed with a weapon other than a firearm. Okay, folks, I have to interject here. Can you give me a list of police officers that you've noticed that possess critical decision-making when encountering a subject who's armed with a weapon other than a firearm? The measure passed with an amendment on Tuesday, November 29th, specifying that officers could only use robots wielding deadly force after employing alternative de-escalation tactics. Yeah, they're real good at those de-escalation tactics. The board also stipulated that only a limited number of high-ranking officers could authorize its use. We know how that works, folks. Plausible deniability. While reminiscent of the brutal 80s sci-fi Robocop, the fact is that the current crop of droids utilized by police are far more autonomous killing machines. In the UK, police-controlled robots are mainly used for bomb disposal and to inspect areas and vehicles. The same goes for the Romotech, like remote C model listed in the San Francisco Police Department's equipment policy, which is described as a heavy-duty robot that has stair climbing ability and an arm capable of lifting 65 pounds. Wow, that's pretty good. One arm lifting 65 pounds. That means two arms could do twice as much. Hey, I mean, robot could pick up somebody like me. But there are ways to modify the bots that indicate how they could be used with lethal force. Notably, the SFPD's droid can be loaded with 12-gauge shotgun shells currently used to detonate bombs from afar. The same droid was armed with an explosive and used to kill a suspect in Dallas in 2016 after a shootout had left 5 police officers dead and several others wounded, demonstrating how the machine can turn deadly. At the time, the Dallas Police Department said the robot was deployed as a last resort to deliver an explosion device to save lives of officers and citizens, unquote. Other robotic equipment mentioned in the SFPD's proposal includes a rugged bot that can help its operator investigate dangerous materials from a safe distance using video and audio surveillance. Now that's a good thing. And a throwable microbot that enables operators to view indoor or outdoor environments. Oh wow, now we can have robots surveilling us, folks. We won't even have peeping Toms and peeping Janes or those perverts at the ABC agencies and their fusion center operatives. Now we'll have microbots that enable operators to view indoor and outdoor environments. Meanwhile, the New York police briefly used a robot dog to scour crime scenes and assist in hostage situations before ditching it due to privacy backlash. Very interesting, folks. The French army has also previously used the 4-legged machine known as Spot, S-P-O-T, which businesses can purchase from tech company Boston Dynamics during training exercises. Man's best friend is turning into a weapon against us, folks. So that's the end of the article. Crazy stuff that's happening here, folks. And you know, I've watched some of the Elon Musk videos, and he's always warning us, warning, about the technology and how there are no laws to regulate it. Well, the laws should have been in place years ago. The technology that is being disclosed to the public now has already been in existence for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. These rules and regulations and laws should have been on the book years ago, before the stuff was mainstream. I mean, this stuff is located in the police department now in San Francisco. And where are the laws regulating these creatures? So let's say you've got the throwable microbot that enables operators to view indoor and outdoor environments. Okay, so now it's got an operator. So let's say you want to go to court because your privacy is being violated. Do you take the operator to court or the microbot? Is the operator going to say, oh, well, I didn't do it? The microbot did it? I was just like watching from behind a closed door? And this is crazy stuff, folks. But anyway, these robots have some other kinds of, I don't know if I should use the word consciousness, but they have some kind of intelligence because they were programmed by humans. And at some point, their programming will enable them to make decisions counter to what they were initially programmed to decide. Now, that may be a good thing or a bad thing, but these robots may turn out to actually hate us for creating them. It's almost like being trapped inside of a can. This intelligence trapped inside of a metal technology, you have to wonder if a robot will eventually mimic the grief and the pain and the angst and the anger that a human does, since a human programs it. It's food for thought, folks. I'd love to hear your questions and comments down below. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Welcome, newcomers. My name is Lorraine. I moved from suburbia, Manalapan, New Jersey, where I lived in the same house for 30 years as original owner. I became targeted there by groups of crazy people, psychopaths, including the Manalapan Police Department. And I incurred more than $300,000 in damages, vandalism to my home that I lived in for 30 years. And then I moved to rural Kentucky, and the same thing is happening here. So, folks, it does follow you. And the people here are just as criminal, just as insane, actually more so. They're a lot less intelligent, they're less educated, but they're definitely more criminally minded, and they're dirty to the core, and so much more. Signing off for now.